I think that for any business at this point, looking to see how can we get through COVID, not just and not die, but prosper and grow, it is going to that core business model, that core passion. What do we do? What do we love? And what is it about our community that we care about? How can we serve that community? And exactly what Charles said, you have to have that more real relationship with your audience, a meaningful one. And for CRM, because I'm in Atlanta, I got to pitch MailChimp and MemberClicks for your CRM needs. But yeah, you have to know who your audience is. You have to know them on a very real basis. I'm very privileged when I went to live events, people who played my games would come up to me and talk to me about them, give me criticism about them where they're deserved, and more importantly, give me feedback about what they would have liked to have seen more in the game so I could add that to future projects. And I'm sure Charles sees the same when he's dealing with his clients. What do they want? What do they care about? And that helps him fulfill them in a better and richer way.
And I'm sure that that adds value to you, and it's reciprocal because based upon the direct feedback that you receive, that makes it better for everyone involved. Community is really big right now. Talk about how community will evolve and develop as a result of what's happening right now.
We've seen this in games for a long time. People talk about gamers being antisocial in their basements, but in fact, they're being very social with dozens and dozens of people online, just not in their physical presence. And now everyone's having to adapt to this. We like to joke that we gamers are already level 20 in social distancing. We're ahead of the curve on it. But in fact, we're really level 20 in these online communications, which is why everybody is coming to us right now. How do we set up live streams? How do we handle our Zooms? How do we do Zoom backgrounds? How do we do Skype calls, et cetera? And being able to connect with your audience in ways you haven't before lets you see parts of them you otherwise wouldn't see. I see a very particular face of the players of my games when I meet them at a convention or at a store. But when they're talking to me online, I'm getting a completely different look at them. And when I'm playing games with them online, I'm getting a completely different look at them. It lets us create a fuller image of our very real customers and let us look deeper into what their real needs and wants are and fulfill them in a better way. There's an old comment in game play testing that you'll hear specific criticisms from people, and you have to learn to ignore the specific criticism and hear what they're really wanting. So the classic complaint in games is they've nerfed the paladin. They've made one of the characters that I love playing weaker. And it's not that players are saying you tweaked an algorithm by 1% and therefore I don't do quite as much damage as I used to do. What they're saying is I'm not having as much fun playing this character as I used to have. And you've got to get beyond just whatever algorithm change that they're talking about and see what is the experience that they're having that's not what they want. And I think this is true for all our communications, and having these tools, being able to utilize these tools, getting their feedback on my streams in real time when I'm talking is a great way to figure out what they really want and not just what their immediate impulse is to share.
That's interesting that you say that, because as Charles mentioned, this is an opportunity for all of us to take a look at our businesses from a 30,000-foot view to really hone in on what our customers and each stakeholder within those audiences wants, and being able to tailor specifically to their wants and needs to make a better business.
Yeah, that's right. I think that was a great point that he made. If you have the time to pull back, a lot of us are being deluged right now, but it is a great time to pivot. We were planning to start the Georgia live streamer network right before all this happened anyway, and now everyone's live streaming. So suddenly it's a much more important part of what we're doing and having a greater impact on not just our members, but on our members, fans, and gamers. So looking at that part of what the Georgia Game Developers Association is doing in light of this new crisis really shows it in a new light and shows the overall impact it can have. We've been saying that streaming was going to grow to these numbers that we're seeing right now by like 2025, certainly by 2030, but we've done it overnight.